Hi, this is REVITUni.com. My name is Simon, and in today's tutorial I would like to share with you some tips about walls. Walls are one of the few tools that you probably learn at the very beginning of using Revit, and unfortunately people tend to get stuck at the very basics of using it. So there are some hidden options that I found out about much later in my career, and they made a big difference in my daily work. If you like this video, remember to subscribe to my channel and visit my site revituni.com, where you can find more helpful tips on how to use Revit. Number one on my list is wall joins. When you start modeling walls, they usually join automatically in every corner. Even if I want to draw another partition wall and select something generic, it will join automatically, adding this line that symbolizes the difference of the materials. I see the thickness of the line, but usually people tend to disable it. So if you want to make sure that it's connected, just remember to deactivate this thin line options. Okay, but in reality, this partition wall is not connected to the masonry wall, and not many designers pay attention to it. So we can disallow join by clicking this symbol. This symbol appears in 2025 version, which I am currently using, and you can simply click on it and drag and drop the end of this wall. In the previous versions, in order to disallow join, you had to right click on this small drag handle and select disallow join from this context menu, right? Click allow join, click disallow join. One setting connected to this tip is that actually you can disallow join before you start modeling anything. So if you prefer to disallow join by default and you are dealing with a situation where there's a lot of places where such walls should not join, you can simply disallow it. I know that when modeling in Revit we are used to drawing quickly and then applying some fixes later, but in this particular situation, I would advise you to really pay attention to this join condition once you are modeling, because doing those fixes later on might be very time consuming. My number two on my list is wall section. And by wall section, I mean that if we go to edit type and go to edit structure, we see that some of the options are now grayed out. In order to activate them, like merge regions, sweeps, layers, etc., I have to click on preview and one more step, switch to section view. Once I'm in this mode, I can access all these tools like sweeps, reveals, split region, assign layers, etc. So if you ever saw such a complex wall somewhere in the project, that means it was created using those tools. I will not explain all those settings right now because it will make this video very long, but if you would like to learn more about it, maybe I will prepare another video strictly focusing on those features. For now, just remember that they are there and how to access them. Next tip on my list is about wall line thickness. Right now I see only one thick line going around the whole thickness of the wall. So if you don't see it, remember to uncheck this thin line options. And it's of course driven by object style. So if I would go to manage object style and check the wall setting, we have the pen number 5, color black, solid. If I would change it to, let's say, purple, it will of course change in the entire project. However, under VG option, we can also do the same, overriding the cut line pattern, which you probably know how to do. And we have also cut line styles, which allows us to edit the thickness and color of each layer function. If I click activate this option, I will overwrite the default settings that are stored under cat colon. And then I can adjust the color and thickness of each layer function. Let's make the structural layer pink. I click apply, and you see that it's now being drawn in this color. In between the two layers, we have a black line, and it's actually something called common line style. So if I go back to VG again, visibility graphics, and select common edges, again, I'm changing color just to show you which line is what, and click apply. You see that all those edges that are connected with different layers of the wall are called common edges. Again, going back to VG, if I go to cut line styles and increase the line weight of it, let's make it number 5, it will ignore the common line style and create a thick line around the whole thickness of the structural layer. If you don't understand what structural substrate thermal air layer is and how it connects to the wall definition, you have to go to edit type, and in here we have, you see, each layer has separate function and its thickness. So if you go to VG, we can apply different color to each layer. Okay. And if you don't see any changes on your screen, you have to remember that those line weights actually affect the presentation. So I will switch 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like the layer priorities, and you see that now it's drawn better. Okay, here maybe the blue color is very similar, so I will change it to orange. Okay, and now you see each layer individually. So in this example, I'm showing you a lot of colors, but it's just to visually present it. And so also when you are trying to apply those settings in your template, just do the same thing to understand how everything connects with each other. But later, if we want to just emphasize the structural layer, I would add a color here and later switch everything to something more generic, more neutral. Okay. And common edges, I will simply clear override, and this is it. Number 4 is about dividing layers of wall into structural part and finish layers. So we would have to create a separate wall definitions. I created one that it's called finish, which consists only of thermal air layer and finish, and we have another wall type which is only structural part. Let's see how it works out in the project. So if I start drawing something, I first draw a structural part, and then next to it, using core face interior, I'm trying to draw around it. Right? I disabled this thin line options, so now those two walls have a thick line between them, and in order to get rid of it and create like illusion of those walls being joined like it's in reality, we would have to use join tool in order to get rid of this line. So there is a lot of clicking that needs to be done in order to achieve such result. And if we want to move this wall, we would face such errors appearing. So it's good to actually align this wall together, then join, and then if I move this wall, it will automatically move the finish layers. So this is how it has to be done before Revit 2025. Fortunately, now we have this option of automatically join and lock walls. So let's do it now 2025 way. First, some wall here. Then I go to my finish. Activate auto join and lock. I can do only join, but I can do both tasks at once. So I will activate auto join and lock, finish face interior, and then when I draw on top of it, you see this thick line disappears and the padlock is locked. Number 5 is changing wall to slanted or tapered. So I will go to 3D view for that, and if I go to properties, I can change the cross section to slanted and apply the slant angle. Another option is to change it to tapered. So if we see this pop-up on the screen, it means that we need to access the edit type, edit wall definition, and apply variable to one of the layers. Tapered means that the thickness of the wall will change from the bottom to top, which you will see in a second. That's why one of the layers should have this option enabled. So now angles of this wall are controlled going to edit type, and we can apply it into type definition. Let's go 15 and 30, for example. Okay, so we have 15 here, 30 here, 15 here, and it at top it will have the thickness defined in the edit type, so it will be 1 feet 5 inches in this example. But we can also override this type settings and enter something here. You see that also there is this visual edits possible, where you can change the definition. You can make it 0, so it's tapered only on the one side. So this is another setting introduced probably into Revit 2023 that you can use in your project. Before that, we would have to use mass environment to achieve such results, and now it's much more simple. So this is it for today. I shared with you 5 tips about walls. There's 5 tips left for me to share with you, and I will do it in a new video. So remember to subscribe to my channel or visit my site revituni.com if you want to learn more about walls.